So I'll start the recording and we'll be sharing the recording with you. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just share my desktop first. So typically we start with a clean slate, but before I start with the clean slate, let me just show you some of the summary sheets that I was talking about. Some people call it dashboard, some people call it a summary sheet. Okay, so this one is like,
Okay.
HR and HR dashboard, and it has different metrics, different types of graphs, charts, and stuff like
Right.
that. Okay,
Right.
and all of these things are taken from simple Excel features, okay, that we look at, and they all
Okay.
are collated in one single place. That's it. All right. So
Okay.
let me just walk you through, like, something like department. If I switch from department to IT, then the data changes, England IT metrics, and you get this. Or
Okay.
I have a region here on the right hand side, it's a drop down. So if I choose Scotland, then the rest of the graph changes for Scotland
Okay.
data. Okay, and these kind of things happen here. Okay, and
Okay.
this is one which is like an HR dashboard. So you have average leave balance, staff performance, cost per hire, open positions, and stuff like that. Then you have some
Okay.
metrics which are like, employee satisfaction percentage, employee trained numbers, gender diversity, average staff rating. And as you can see, these things, the variables can easily be modified as per your requirement, right, depending on
Okay.
how you want it, or which department or what kind of data you're collating. Based on that, all that can be done. Now behind the
Okay.
scene, there are different sheets here which provide the backup data. Okay, so
Right.
no great rocket science in this. Basically all the data is there in different sheets, and they are just being collated and presented in the summary sheet. So this could be
Okay.
taken as like, top manager reporting or top management reporting, where you show them the, the basic, the graphs and the charts and the numbers. So they are more interested in the summary level data or the trend that is being shown here, how it moves and stuff like that. If people are asking more detailed questions, you can keep the data here, based on which those graphs and charts are calculated. So there are different
Okay.
sheets where those calculations are happening, and the charts and all stuff like that, and based on that the summary sheet is getting calculated. So
Okay.
this is one. Then there's something like a regional dashboard. Okay, so this one goes by region. So you have, like, this is for Europe. So if I
Mm-hmm.
click Asia Pacific here, you the data changes to Asia Pacific. So the countries that are included in Asia Pacific, starting from Australia,
Mm-hmm.
Bangladesh, Cambodia, all sorted in alphabetic order. Or if you want to move to Africa, you can do that. And then you get the expenses and the revenue, and you have a trend also being shown. So there is a drop here, which is which can be easily highlighted. And then you have different kinds of graphs or trends being displayed. And if you want any particular country, or you want particular, you just want to look at France, then you can have France, and then it will show you the data for France and stuff like that.
Right.
And this is the regional one, and we saw the HR. This is like a department dashboard. Okay, so you have
Okay.
again a drop down, where you can choose which region. Let's say I want to choose Americas, and then based on Americas, I get the territory here, different territories, and different, the top five, and the recruitment expenses, and the churning, top five churning, FTE income by country, and all these kind of things can be done. And the graph also can be is modified based on the country or the geography that you're choosing. So for example, if I choose Europe, you will see the European nation map comes up. Or if I
Mm-hmm.
choose Asia Pacific, the Asia Pacific map comes up. Okay. So these kind of stuff it, can be called as a summary sheet or often called as a dashboard.
Right.
All right. So let me start by, this was just like this could be the end result, right? At the end of the class, you should be able to do something
Correct.
like that.
Correct.
Okay. So it's not that we'll be doing that on day one, but gradually we'll be moving up towards that
Sounds good.
objective. Okay. Now, starting with this, normally we all know that, when we do any kind of dates or we are playing around with numbers, you know, when we have any kind of series, like we have to put in 1, 2, 3, and then we highlight this and we drag it as far as we want it, right? Now,
Correct.
is there any other way that you know where these series can be generated?
I generally drop this down, the list down, and
Okay.
if I'm not wrong, if I write 1 plus and drop this down, the same result happens. I'm
This
not too
one,
sure though.
this one,
Not done it.
or equal to, which one you're talking about?
Mhm.
Okay. See, there is another feature here, which is like, you can start from any number you want.
Sir, if you are speaking, you're not audible.
Am I audible now? Am I audible now? Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible? Resume the recording.
Sure.
So suppose I want to start with 1. I put the first
Mm-hmm.
number here. I go to on the right hand side, just below auto sum, there is fill.
Okay.
What I can do is I can highlight this entire row, entire column, sorry,
Okay.
the entire column.
Okay.
I go to fill. There is a series here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there's a step value. Now, this step value
Cool.
is the increment. I may want
Right.
1, I may want 5, I may want 4, whatever number I want. And I want to stop
Right.
at 2000.
Okay.
Mind you, I've selected the entire column. So there are 10
Okay.
lakh rows here. So it has selected
Okay.
everything, but it goes up to 2000 and then stops.
Okay.
I don't have to keep dragging it or keep holding it till I reach that number. And I can stop at any number, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, whatever I want to do. Let's say I want to start with 5, and due to some reason, I wanted increment of 5. So I go to series.
Okay.
Okay. And I want an increment of 5 to stop at 5,000.
Okay.
So it would do that
Great.
5, 10, 15, 20 and go all the way up to 5,000 and then stop.
Okay. Can this be replaced by characters from the English alphabet?
Now, there are some patterns that it looks at basically. Okay. And
Okay.
there is a series. So it basically follows a series. So what you're talking about is
Okay.
something like this, right? Maybe A1, A2 or
I
something
see.
like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
here, easier way actually, if you want this kind of thing, I would say, go and use like a function on this formula or something like that. That would give you a better
Okay.
result. A mix of
Okay.
series and formula.
Okay. So as far as numbers or integers are concerned, the easiest way to do is by using the fill option.
Fill
That's
option.
something for me
And
to
that gives you
learn.
multiple options. You can use
Okay.
any start from any number. You can give any step value, that is any increment, and you can go all the way up to a certain. You can stop after a certain number, or you can leave it blank. If you
Okay.
leave it blank, then what it does is, suppose I want it from 10 and I want it to go to all the cells that I have selected. That's also fine. You don't have to give a stop value always. And I want to give a 10. So it will go up to the number that I selected and stop.
Okay.
Okay. But if I wanted to stop after, let's say I want 15, I want it to stop at 100, it will do that. And then it will stop after 100.
Got it.
It's up to you what
So
you want, and you can control
this, I get it. So one thing that I would wanted to know is,
Yes.
since we analyze data as far as the vintage of a customer is concerned. So is there any way? I'm sure there must be, because I've seen this in the dashboards. Say for example, a customer has paid today to my company, and he will pay me again after, say, 147 days as per the deal done with the client. So is there any pattern so that I can figure out the date? What will be the exact date using this formula?
Yes. We can do that. We can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let me just quickly run you through all the features here. Now, the same thing, normally, let's say I want this 5 to 80 numbers. I want this, the same set of values. I want this copied to the right-hand column. That is the column I.
Okay.
So normally what do? We highlight this, copy this, go here, paste it.
Okay.
2-3 keystrokes. Another way to do this is, I go to this, highlight it, go right. There is fill and there is right.
Okay.
Here I am using one less keystroke, at least one less keystroke. I don't have to copy it always. Sometimes what happens, you copy it, it goes to another place, or you don't click on the entire value, something else happens. All that you have to do here is, let's say this one, I highlight this, or I highlight this column, I move it to the right, and I do fill right.
Okay.
Now this fill feature, this is called fill feature, can be used right, left, up, down.
Okay, so you went to fill,
Fill,
which is under
and then
AutoSum, and then fill right. Okay, yes.
Right, down, up, left. Now there are some shortcuts as well. Suppose I have like, let's say I have some words here. And I want this to be populated in all these cells. Easiest shortcut is Control T.
Okay. Great. Great.
I want this to be copied to the left. I go to,
Left.
yes, and there is left. If I keep my
Okay.
cursor here for a few minutes, you will see a shortcut also. See, if I go to fill right, there's a
Yes.
shortcut called Control R.
Okay.
And for down, it is Control D.
Okay.
And if I
Similarly
want
for
this,
U and L.
unfortunately, it's not there.
Okay.
Control U will make it underline.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so just,
Achha.
yeah. And actually up and left are less used. So I think that is the reason they have
Okay.
not given any shortcut over there. People usually do it down or right, right?
Okay.
We write from left to right. So that might be the
Mhm.
reason why they have given only 2 shortcuts. And if
Okay.
you want to do it
Great.
left, I just go and highlight the blank row and it happens left.
Right.
Now, mind you, suppose I have this,
Mhm.
and let's say I have 1, 2. If I highlight 2 rows and do control down,
Mhm.
what do you think will happen?
I think North would it depends upon how this box underneath the range that you have selected, that gives us the options to how we to select how we copy the data selected
How it
so far.
works is, I'll tell you how it works
Mhm.
is, the first highlighted row will get
Okay,
copied in the rest of the rows.
I see.
So the first highlighted row here is North 1, 2, 22, 33. So if I now do
Okay.
Control D, the whole thing will get copied.
Achha.
It will override
Okay.
the second one that was there.
Okay.
So the second one was North, South, East, West.
Mhm.
So it overwrote everything over there. So
Right.
be careful while doing this. A lot of times we get a bit enthusiastic and we select the entire
Mhm.
table and do Control D. It's going to go for a toss. The top row will get filled up in the rest of the rows.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now, so right, left, up, down is clear. Going back to our
Right.
series here, we
Mhm.
had an linear series 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Now there could be a
Mhm.
growth series. If you remember in class 12 or 11, you must have done arithmetic
Mhm.
progression, geometric progression, right? So
Right.
AP,
Right.
GP, we used to call it. Now here,
Yes.
AP is
Yes.
the linear one. And if I just below linear, see the type, there
Okay.
is growth. And I put a step value of 2, what the system does is it will do an increment.
Okay.
Multiplier basically 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8
Okay.
times 2, 8
Oh,
into 2, 16 into
correct.
2, 32 into 2. It comes up with a numeric number.
Got it. Sir, I will interrupt you for a
Yes.
brief moment.
Yeah.
Please be patient. I keep receiving a lot of calls from my team members because of ongoing deals and closures.
Okay.
So I might well have to interrupt you
1
at
minute.
times to
Let me
take
pause
some.
that. Okay. So this is the growth of the
Correct.
in a number of a number. Okay. Now
Okay.
the other variations that we have here, this I don't know if you ever use it. I haven't seen too many people use it, but just I let
Okay.
you know that this is there in case you want to do a growth kind of thing. Now, often
Okay.
what we do try and do is, like, suppose you have a series like this and you want to predict a trend, or you want to fill up the rest of the values like this, then what, sorry, and then what you can do is, we go to series. See, there is a trend kind of thing, and system will try to guess what is the increment between these numbers.
Okay.
And based on that, system will try and populate rest of the values.
Okay.
So, you know, this is often useful if you're trying to do a trend, or you're trying to do some kind of predictive, you know, let me see if there is some kind of trend there. And, you know, if among those numbers, you might have something, you know, you're thinking, and instead of doing it manually, you can just try and use this trend. So just use any random numbers. And from here, you go select it, go to fill, go to series, and you have a trend here.
Okay.
So it has come up with something like 3.2.
Excellent. So good. This will be very useful for me to, like, if I go by the data.
Yes.
See, since we are into e-commerce, there are some seasonal spikes as
Correct.
far as revenue is concerned.
Right.
So I'll be able to predict what kind of revenue
Yes.
will happen for the month of November if I compare the data of revenues collected month on month for the past 7 years.
True.
That will help me.
True. True.
Yes.
True. So see,
Excellent.
the use of this is up to you. You know, this will give you ideas. Okay, like you just got an idea. You know, maybe something else you might think of. You know,
right.
And
Right.
So this is one. Okay. Another thing that we often do is with the dates. Okay, let me show you with the dates.
Correct.
Let's say this is 2021, and I want to do a series here. Fill series. Again, this autofills. Type is date.
Correct.
Step is 1. Day unit is day. Okay, so if it is day unit, it will take every day.
I just missed once. Can you just go back one step?
I'll do it one more time.
Okay.
Next, when I choose this one, I do 1/1/21. The first one, what I did, I'll tell you. The first one, what I did, I had used this day unit as day.
Okay.
Next, there is an option called weekday.
Okay.
When I choose weekday, it will ignore the Saturday, Sundays.
Okay.
And I can do it for whatever number of days I want, starting from any day in the past. I want to start from 2015, I can start from 2018, 20, whatever.
Okay.
So 1/4, if we look at the calendar, you will find 1st of January was Friday, probably 2nd and 3rd was a Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. 1st was a Friday, 2nd and 3rd was the weekend. Again, you have 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, again 9th and 10th weekend, again from 11th onwards. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 is all the days, including weekends.
Okay.
Now, when I do this, let me just repeat this like you saw this series. I go, I choose the day and I say, okay, if I wanted every 7 days, let's say, it will do it every 7 days, all Mondays or all Fridays, depending on what is the first day.
Okay.
Clear? Next.
Clear.
There is another option, 1/1/21. I go here, I go to fill, I go to series, and I go to month.
Okay.
So first we saw day, then we saw weekday, then I do month now. In the month, what it does is, whichever date I'm choosing, same date, but for every month. So it changes after
Okay.
each month. So Jan, then Feb, then March, then April, and so on. It's using the US calendar
Okay. Okay.
where the month comes first. Now,
Great.
on top of this, what you can do is I can go to this formatting here. I believe you know these formats already. And here you can just select one of your choice. So what did it do? It changed the display to month, year. Are you able to hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes, I
so,
can hear you now.
yeah, sorry. I think my network had dropped for a few minutes.
No problem.
Yeah. So let me just go back to what we were talking about. So, so this is the display that I changed to month YY, which is the year.
Okay.
Okay. Now inside it, when I click, it's still the same date.
Right.
But when I click outside, it just shows the month and year.
Month. Okay.
Now I can do the same thing with the next one. Let's say I have this. And if I go back to my fill and the series, the last one here is year.
Okay.
And I say, okay. So what it does, same date, but only the year changes. 1/1/21, 1/1/22, 1/1/23, 1/1/24, so on. Now, a small practice for you. Can you show this one as only the year? Like this. Oops, this one is, let's say, I just want to show something like this.
Okay. So I'll go to fill.
Fill, start with the date.
Okay, yes,
Fill.
I need to select the range.
Right, series and step value of 1. And this one should be year.
Okay, year, correct. Fair enough.
So a quick summary of what we did.
Yes.
Say correct. Okay now, so that we'll have it in the recording.
Okay.
So first we did. First we did, when you click on A1, or you want to try it one more time, you can do that also.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I got a hang of this.
So we click on A1. We click on A1, where we had put the first date. Okay, you want to click on A1? Yes. So we clicked on A1 and we had the first date 1/1/21. Then we selected the range till what range I want those values. And then I go to fill series. And then I choose year as the date unit. And I say, okay. So it fills up the range with the dates. Then I go to number format, choose custom from the left-hand side category. And then I choose the format that I want. If the format that I want is not there, I can edit the existing format and have it the in the format that I want.
Great, great.
Okay, good.
All right.
Fine. So I'm going to share my screen now.
Okay, I'll stop sharing then.
That's okay. If I do it, yours will stop.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. So this was what we talked about in terms of fill, right? Fill
Okay.
series. And nowadays, if
Mhm.
you look at these, drop downs, and depending on the version that you are using, you will often find
Mhm.
if you have a trend here, towards the bottom, a set of options will appear.
Okay.
Does it appear on your version of
Yes,
Excel?
yes,
From there also, you may get the fill option.
correct.
So you can use that also. It's the same feature.
Okay.
Clear? Now,
Clear.
suppose I have this data. Let's say these are my salespeople.
Hmm.
And I have some numbers here. So I'll just put up some random numbers. Easiest way to fill up a table is just go and random numbers. If you are choosing, just put like 3 or something like that. And it changes this. And if you want it down, what you can do is you change the values. Okay, so it fills up no matter how big the table. This could be one of the applications of using fill. You want to fill it with random numbers and stuff like that. Now, have you ever tried to change this format? Like you have the columns in the, you have the north, south, east, west, the regions in the column, and the salespeople in the rows. Suppose I want to do the opposite. I want the salespeople on the columns and the regions on the rows.
Correct.
How do you do
So
that?
I'll probably go ahead and transpose the data.
Right. How do we do it? We just copy it, click somewhere, go to paste, and do transpose.
Yes.
Right. That's the simplest way of doing it. Correct. Now, I have a data like this. Let me just. So it's going to go on, and I'll just blind this. Now I have a sheet which has a lot of data here, right? Right or wrong, rubbish or whatever. And I want to know from this table, where are my duplicate values? Which data is duplicate?
What is the range that you are looking
in
for?
The sheet.
The entire sheet, the duplicates.
Yes.
Probably I have the, no, these numbers are different. This is P and Q have duplicates.
No, but
column P and
let's say one cell.
Okay.
Or two cells. I'm looking at individual cell values, not the entire column. And and if you see here, I have a very large set. So I can't see the end
Okay.
of it, right?
Okay. Right.
Did you ever have to
So
do anything like this?
yes, I removed the duplicates
Okay,
by
removing duplicates is it will remove totally, but I just want the
okay.
duplicate values to be highlighted.
Okay. No, I've not done that.
Easiest way is, I'll tell you the trick. There is something called as conditional formatting. You see this?
Okay.
I go to
Uh-huh.
conditional
Yes.
formatting and there is something called as
Hmm.
highlight cell rules with duplicate values. And
Okay.
see, it comes up with the duplicate ones.
Okay. So we go to conditional formatting
Yes. And there is highlight cell
and we
rules.
highlight.
And there is one
Okay.
which is duplicate values.
Okay. Okay.
Now, the good thing about this is a dynamic
Mm-hmm.
one. Like I
Okay.
can see here, there is 10, 10, 10 here. There's one more 10 here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least these four are catching my eye right now. There is one
Okay.
more, two more here.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to do here is I'll just make this as 11,
Okay.
this as 12,
Okay.
this as, let's say, 13.
Okay.
And I'm doing this manually just to show you how it works. 15
Okay.
and 16.
16.
Now I have
Okay.
removed all the 10. Now
Mm-hmm.
see, this highlighting is gone.
Okay.
It's no longer duplicate.
Yes.
Now you know it's unique.
Hmm.
But if somewhere
Right.
in the sheet, somewhere down
Mm-hmm.
below, I have a 10,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Okay.
missing my eye. See, it's going to highlight
Okay.
it
It becomes
immediately.
highlighted. Okay.
No matter where it is in the sheet. And this
Okay.
works on text, date, number.
All right. Got it.
So I go back to my sheet. See, this 10 is again highlighted because it's duplicate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now this north and this north is highlighted. I will just
Mm-hmm.
change the spelling of it.
Okay.
It's no longer
Hmm.
highlighted. Sometimes when we are working with large sheets, what happens is we easily miss out certain things, or we know there is no duplicate, but or we think there is no further duplicate. Then when we are doing
Mm-hmm.
analysis or we are doing a pivot chart, then we find out, oh my God, this also got, there was another duplicate.
Got it.
Okay, so this
Fair
is
enough.
one. Now
Fair enough.
I will just repeat this one more time. What I did, I
Mm-hmm.
selected the entire sheet, went to conditional
Mm-hmm.
formatting, and went to highlight
Highlight cell
cell
rules,
rules
duplicate
and duplicate
values.
values. Now, at any point of
Okay.
time I want to modify this, I go to conditional
Mm-hmm.
formatting. I'll see manage rules here.
Okay.
It will tell me all the rules that are there over there in that sheet right now.
Okay.
I could have multiple sheets here. I will show you or
Okay.
multiple conditions here. I'll show that to you in a
Mm-hmm.
few minutes. And I can click on edit rule and make modifications. Suppose I don't want
Okay.
this pink color. I want some
Okay.
other color. So I can just go
Got
and
it.
change the color. I don't like that color. So the text color has changed here. If you see here, from black, it went to
Yes.
blue. If I
Yes.
want the pink color to go away, I'll again go to manage
Mm-hmm.
rules. I have this edit rule and I have this format here. So this is a fill color. So this is the fill color.
Okay.
That was the font color. Now the fill color,
Okay.
I want it on orange, let's say, or maybe on green, something soothing.
Okay. Great.
So I can choose the color and of the cell as well as the text
Mm-hmm.
as per my choice.
Absolutely.
How I do that? I click on this, go to manage rules. I don't even have to highlight the sheet. I just go to manage
Okay.
rules. I will see them and I can choose the ones that I want. Whatever I want to do, font, border. I might want some borders maybe, you know. So I'll
Mhm.
just have to choose that.
Great.
Now, if I want to remove this, I come here, I can say clear rules.
Mhm.
Maybe I just want to redo it. So I'll say clear
Okay.
rules from selected cells or from entire sheet.
Mhm.
If I say entire
Mhm.
sheet, it will be removed from the entire sheet.
Okay.
If I say selected cells, it will only remove it from the cell that I have clicked on.
Okay.
I say clear rules from entire sheet, everything's gone.
Got it.
Now, you okay? Can I move on or do you want to try this out?
No, that's okay. Got a hang of this.
Okay. So next,
So
let's say, yeah,
I just had one small question. Say,
yeah,
for example, I have highlighted the number of duplicates that I have against, like in the entire sheet.
okay.
So if I want to take out the total number of duplicates present, is there any shortcut or how do we do that?
No, that you won't be able to do. This is just for highlighting.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay, fair enough.
Now say I have a series of numbers like this, 1 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
I want a condition where
Mm-hmm.
something greater than will be filled up
Mm-hmm.
with red, or instead of red, I can choose green or yellow, whichever color I want.
Okay. Okay.
So anything greater than 11 is highlighted in green, and anything less than 11, I want it highlighted
Mm-hmm.
in red.
Red. Okay.
So I have two conditions on my
Hmm.
cell. And if
Mm-hmm.
I now do manage rules, I can see both the conditions here.
Okay.
Now, instead of 11, I don't want it 11.
Mm-hmm.
I want it less than equal to. So what it does is less than 11 or greater than 11, it will leave 11 out.
Okay.
I can change the condition. I can say greater than, this was less than, I can say less than or equal to
Hmm.
11.
Okay.
So it will apply it here. See, this one cell less than is
Yes.
red,
Yes.
but greater than 11
Okay.
is green. I say apply,
Okay.
see this one becomes green. So they don't have to be in
Okay.
sequence. System will
Mm-hmm.
evaluate that and decide for you.
Okay.
So let's say I have a number, I change the 16 to number 2, immediately it'll change in color.
Okay. Great.
These are very useful when you want to, check how many numbers or how many cells or how many things you have. And later
Okay.
on, if you filter it by color, you can filter out the data by
Mm-hmm.
the colors,
Okay.
even though they are not in sequence.
Okay.
So these conditions, I can have multiple conditions here. So highlight cell
Mm-hmm.
rules, less than, between, I can give a range between
Mm-hmm.
this number and this number.
Mm-hmm.
I can give equal
Mm-hmm.
to, I can look for a particular text. Suppose in this
Mm-hmm.
entire sheet, you're searching for somebody's name. Just put a
Okay.
text, it will highlight that.
Okay.
Or you can look for a particular date.
Okay.
So suppose I have this, I go to highlight cell rules, date occurring. Now date occurring, you can see these are the different options that I have. Yesterday, today,
Okay.
tomorrow, last 7
Mm-hmm.
days, last week, this week, last month, this month, next month. So you
Okay.
can highlight, and accordingly system will highlight that particular value.
Fair enough.
And
So I have a question here now.
yeah,
Say, for example, I have applied conditional formatting on the numbers, like in the column A here. Okay, so I have already applied conditional formatting now. Now, if I want to change the rules, if you may please click on conditional formatting once for me.
no problem.
We go there and then we manage the rules now.
Yes, edit
All
the
right.
rule. This is if you don't
Okay,
want
so
to
once the
delete everything.
conditional, yes. Okay.
Another option is you
Okay.
can just remove everything and start anew.
Okay.
It's up to you. Sometimes, you know, you might have reworked on that data, right? And you don't want to
Okay.
go and redo that entire thing. You just come here and delete. Sometimes it's just easier to remove all the rules and redo it.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Now, the next set that I am coming to, again on conditional formatting, I have this. I go to conditional formatting. These are top bottom rules. So I want to highlight the top 10 items.
Okay.
Or top 10%. The difference between 10 items, 10%. If you have 200, 10% is 20 numbers. If you say 10 items, it will highlight 10. If you say 10%, it will highlight 20 out of 200.
Okay.
Now here I have 21 values. If I say top 10 items and I say top 10, it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and stop there.
Okay. Got it.
And this can be in any order. It doesn't have to be sequential. Suppose I change this and I make it like 1000, it will change.
Fair enough. Got it.
So same way, if I want to use this, I will say top bottom rules, top 10%, bottom opposite. I can do above average also or below average. Like I have this sequence. I don't know what the average is. I will say above average. Just highlight above average.
Okay.
So if you were to do it manually, you can just edit rule and check what it is. Instead of above, you might make it below. Equal or above.
Certainly. Got it. Sir, I would need to take one call. Can I just have 2 minutes?
Sure. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So are we fine with this?
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I went to conditional formatting. I have this top bottom rules, top or bottom or average, below average. So these are basically like you could use it for quotations, or you know, you have some numbers, sales people, sales numbers, revenue numbers. You know, you can use it for anything that you want.
Okay.
Now, another thing that the conditional formatting can be used for is, like I have these numbers. The numbers by itself is not very attractive, or you know, it's like, you know, it doesn't hit the people always, right? You want to make something which is eye-catching. So for that, what you can do is you have something called as data bars or color scales. So what does data bar do? You do this? Okay. So you can just highlight this. So this is very, very catchy. And this one is also dynamic. So if you want to make it like out of 400, it will immediately rescale itself.
Okay.
Now, as you have been doing this, you're probably familiar. Suppose I just want to show the data bars. I don't want to show the numbers.
Okay.
How do I do that? I don't want the numbers.
Only the data bars.
Only the data bars.
Okay, so probably I'll select the entire set of data and then again go to conditional formatting and then select the more manage rules, and then I have to do something there if I'm not wrong.
Yep. Bang on. I go to edit rule. There is something called as show
Yes.
bar only.
Right.
What this does is it hides the numbers from the display.
Okay. Okay.
Now you can do this. We know fill, so I'm doing this right,
Mhm,
Control R.
mhm,
Now this one,
mhm.
I'm not going to have as data bar.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to delete this. This will be a pure number.
Okay.
This one
Okay.
I'm going to have as any, and then this one I'm going to, oops, sorry. I'm going to switch off the display. The numbers will not display. Okay, so I have a bar which is using the same numbers.
Mhm,
Now see, if I do this and I change this
mhm,
number to 300,
mhm.
the bar doesn't change. This
Right.
bar. But I want this to change if I change the numbers here.
Okay.
Any idea how we can do that? Did you get what I'm saying? Like when
Yes.
I clicked on this, it
mhm,
changed the graph, right?
right.
But
But
when I
then,
change this, it doesn't
yes.
change my graph.
Okay.
Yes.
It
How
is
do I do
probably
it?
because you have only simply copied the data sets here.
Okay.
So there has to be a
No,
way
but I
wherein
want this
the
graph will change. I want this graph to change if I change this value.
okay. So it has to look up to the data corresponding to the column.
Correct. Correct.
I don't know this. Yes.
Okay. So how we can do this is, I'll just show you. You click here,
Mm-hmm.
you say equal
Mm-hmm.
to and refer to this cell.
Okay. Okay.
And you drag this.
Okay.
And I again apply conditional formatting and data bar, whatever color I
Mm-hmm.
want. And I go back,
Mm-hmm.
hide the number.
I missed it. I missed it. What you selected
Okay,
right now.
I'll redo, show you again. Now see what I was saying.
Okay.
Now if I change this 25 to 250, see my graph
This will
changes
go
here,
up. Right.
which was not happening. This one didn't change,
Okay.
but this one did. If I change this to
Mm-hmm.
150,
Mm-hmm. This will change.
yeah. But this one does not change.
Fair enough.
So
Okay.
what I'm doing, I'm linking these two now.
Okay.
My graph is changing based on my data that I'm updating here.
Yes. Yes.
So how did I do it? I went here. Let me do it in another cell so it will be easier for you to understand.
Okay.
I went here. I clicked on equal.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked
Okay.
on the source of the data. This is J1 here.
Okay.
I
Okay.
say enter
Mm-hmm.
and I drag it.
Acha, now I got it. I got it now.
So all
You
of
dragged it
them
down now. Yes.
are referring to this cell value. It's not referring
Got
to
it.
that
Got it.
number.
Yes. Got it. Got it.
Now, instead of these, suppose I want a scale. You can have a tricolor scale or you can have multicolor scales. Okay, manage rules. Let me
Mm-hmm.
delete this one. So this is a graded scale. So I have different numbers here. Based on that, it has a different coloring. Now, what is the pattern here? I want to see. I go to manage rules. I click on
Mm-hmm.
this. I say edit rule and it
Mm-hmm.
explains. green, it starts with green. If it is less than 50th percentile, it will be green. If it is greater than 50th percentile, it will be red. In between, it will be 50. Now, let's see if this is matching up.
Yes. The lowest values are green. Huh. Okay, the
Now
highest are red.
here, I might want to change the format. I don't want percentile. I want a number, absolute numbers.
Okay.
So I can say anything, or I can change the coloring. I don't like this
Okay.
red. I don't want to be, set off a red.
Sir, I will
alarm.
interrupt you for 30 seconds. My father is calling me
Oh,
again and
sure.
again.
Sure. That's
Just a
urgent.
second.
Please do.
30 seconds only.
Yeah. No problem.
Especially when you have octogenarians in your family, you have to attend to
True.
each and every call.
True.
So I understand, sir.
Okay. So this one, did you
Right, sir.
follow? What I did was I went to this conditional formatting, and here earlier one was percentile. I changed it to absolute number.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Now instead of 3 color, I might use a 2 color.
2 color
There would
scale.
be only 2
Got
colors, depending on my requirement.
Correct.
Americans always believe in giving consumers the choice, right?
Yes.
And Indians believe, what choice, man? Better do what
Correct.
I say. All right. So
that's a splendid example set.
All right. So here, now another thing that we can do here is, suppose I do this and I am again referring to this.
Okay.
I'm just going to remove it from the selected cells. So only this formatting goes, rest of my formatting remains. Here, I'm going to use certain icon sets.
Yes.
Any set, any of these that I want, red light, green tick, signal, red circle, blue circle, I can do this. I might want to do a flag. A lot of times you have to do a status reporting, or who is doing what, who is doing great, or you want to encourage others and stuff like that. So you can use these kind of flags, or you can use this, or you can use this. So this one also, you can hide the numbers, so you could have them on separate cells, so that one cell will show the numbers, another will just highlight, just show the flag. So you change anything here. Let's say I make this 185. See, the flag color changes here.
Yes. So all I'm doing right now here is I am referring to the existing data set.
Correct.
And then applying the requisite conditional formatting on this.
This is also referring to the same cell value. There has to be a value end of the day, right? Without the value, the conditional formatting will not work. I'm still using that, but only thing that I'm doing is I'm just, referring to it, so that if anything changes there, it also reflects here. If I don't link it, then what happens is I might be working on stale data.
Correct. Got it. Got it.
Now, based on this, suppose I have this. I'm just putting some random titles, okay? Don't go by the titles.
No issues.
Now, if I want to do a filter on this, I can also do a
Mhm.
filter. Okay. So
Okay.
if I do a filter here and I just want the
Mhm.
filter,
By color. Okay.
I just pick up the red ones.
Okay. So with this, I will be able to identify, say, the bottom performing regions
Exactly.
or the
Exactly.
branches or the.
Yeah.
I get it now. That's great.
So if I want to change it, I can go back, I can change, I can say no icon, or I can
I see.
yellow, or I can
So all I do is right click on the given set of data, and
yes,
then
do a
I get
filter.
it now.
Now,
Yes.
just like I did a filter, I can do a sorting as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like if you see
Okay.
here, these numbers are not sorted properly, right? Let me have some other colors here also so that, you know. So I have some red, some blue, some green, some yellow, and all that.
Yes.
So among this data, I go to this sort and filter. I can go to custom sort and I can choose sort by
Okay.
status.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of cell value, I will choose the conditional formatting icon.
Okay.
I want the red first. Oh, it should have been status. Oh. And I make this. Then I don't want yellow. Then I want the green ones. Then, and finally I want the
Okay.
yellow.
Okay.
It's my choice basically. You know,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
no rational particularly, but so the data gets sorted by the flag. This is often useful because I have seen a lot of people do a filter, then copy this set, put it in another place, and then sort it out.
Yes.
You don't have to do that.
Yes.
You can just do the sorting in line with the data.
So this is something that I do quite frequently. So I'll show you something
Yeah,
something that I
sure.
did in the morning today itself. Let me just share my screen.
Now,
Okay. Thank you.
right, suppose I have another part of the data. Let's say I'm doing an audit like this. Okay, let's say I have something.
Okay.
I have these numbers and I like
Mm-hmm.
I think this number is what I like, some random number I have taken, and I want this to be highlighted
Okay.
like this. And anything that I like, I want it to be highlighted in
Mm-hmm.
bold with a bigger font size of
Okay.
12 and a fill of yellow. Okay, I
Okay.
have a huge sheet. Let's say I just chose this and say randomly, I
Mm-hmm.
want this to be highlighted, this to be highlighted, this to be highlighted. Now, one way of doing this is I
Okay.
go individually to the cell. I increase the font size to 12. I fill it in.
Mm-hmm.
I make it bold. Is there any
Mm-hmm.
better way of doing this?
Okay. I don't know. I'll be very honest with my response.
Okay. Now, this is something that you might need to do for auditing, right? Suppose you are
Okay.
validating some values and you have done a check. You want to
Yes.
highlight certain things or you want your team to check out these values. So what you can do here is I just
Okay.
do the formatting on one cell. There is something called as
Mm-hmm.
paintbrush here. This is the format painter. Okay,
Yes.
it looks like a paintbrush. I
Okay.
click on
Yes.
this. I
Uh-huh.
go and whichever value I want to
Mm-hmm.
select, it will be highlighted with the same formatting that I have used here.
Okay.
Now I now see the cursor gets reset back to the cross. Now I want this to remain. That means I
I
want it
missed
to be.
it.
Okay,
Where
I'll
is
do
it?
it one
Where
more
is the
time.
cross?
See here,
Okay.
my cursor is a cross here, right? You see this?
Yes, it's
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 dancing,
like
moving around.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
yes,
like a
yes,
cross,
yes.
white cross,
Okay.
right? Now
Yes, yes.
I click on this paintbrush. Now see what the cross becomes.
Okay.
There's a paintbrush next to the
It,
cross.
it comes with a paintbrush, right?
Correct?
Right.
That means the
Yes.
format painter is clicked. So whichever number I want to highlight, if I click on it, it will change the formatting.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it
Okay.
again resets back to that white cross. Now that
Okay.
can be a bit painful if I have to do it each time and it gets reset. Again, I click on this. Again, I do
Correct.
this. What you can do is you can
Correct.
double click this. If you double click,
Okay.
it remains even after you click one value.
Okay. Got it.
And you send this sheet to your person and you can say, hey, just review the numbers that I have highlighted.
Okay. So say for example, if you may just click on C40
Yeah.
for once
Yes.
and do some formatting there for me.
Yeah. Let's say I'm doing some other color change and I want it in bold. I want the text in white.
Okay. And I want to highlight the cells age 45 to 50 with the same font, same formatting. Okay. I double clicked in the paintbrush first,
Now,
right?
yeah, now I didn't do that. I just did a single click. That's why the white cross
Okay.
got reset. You see this white cross is now back.
Okay.
If I were to
Yes.
do a double click, then I can use
Okay.
multiple ranges. I do this, see the format painter remains.
Okay. So will this be applicable between two different Excel files? Okay. Got it. Great.
Okay. Now I go to another sheet.
Mm-hmm.
This was your question, right?
Yes. Yeah. Got it.
I come back. Okay. This format painter is
Yes.
useful if I am doing this kind of formatting.
Right.
Okay. Now formatting is often, another thing, let me tell you, at any point of time later on after the class or while you're working, if you think that, hey, there was something that, we had seen this, I have done this before, you can bring your cursor here and it gives you an explanation.
Okay. I see.
Just
Yes.
spend a few seconds reading through it. It might help you to recollect. You say, oh,
Correct.
yeah, that's what I did. See, it
Correct.
tells you
This is something
FYI
that we
to
don't do.
apply, yeah, to apply the formatting on multiple places, double click format painter.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. So this is something that we did. And I'm sure this one you know already, but let me just, for the sake of completeness, suppose you have a table like this and I want to write something, let's say region and say it's percent. Okay. Now see, this comes side by side, right? Now suppose I want to write it in an angular way. You know how to write it in an angular way within the cell.
Control I.
This is italics. Suppose
As an angular way.
I want it at 45 degree.
Okay.
Now something like this. See here, you see this AB and this,
yes.
that's called the orientation. So if I want it angle like this.
Got it.
So sometimes you can just make this small, wrap the text So it will come like this,
Mm-hmm.
and it will save up some of your, you know, you are highlighting this as well as you are explaining this, which is what.
Got it.
Okay,
Hmm.
sometimes you might need to, or you might need to do this, like you want this side to say sales team. So I'll say sales team
Mm-hmm.
here. And just like you are aware of the merging, right? You can merge across
Mm-hmm.
cells.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say merge and center. So
Mm-hmm. Merge and center, yeah.
yeah, so you can do this merge and center, and then you do the tilting, vertical text,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
rotate text up, and you can center it.
Mm-hmm.
So it will come towards the middle. You might have seen people do
Got
this
it.
kind of formatting stuff like that.
Yes,
So,
yes.
rotate text so you can
Just to
make it
make it visually appealing or something
appealing.
different from
Exactly,
what the
exactly.
others are presenting.
Correct, correct.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
you can have this format text up, format text down. You can also make a vertical text. So it reads like this, sales
Okay.
team.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
you are, very finicky about the exact cell alignment or the degree to which you can use the numbers, you can say 25 degree. And
Okay.
Excel will tilt it exactly 25 degree. Okay, for you.
Got it.
So these are like some basic formatting stuff, and you know about wrap text, I'm sure. Merge and
Yes.
center,
Yes.
formatting
Yes. Yes.
these dollar signs using rupee symbols and all that,
Uh-huh.
okay, percentages, commas,
Yes.
removing zeros, increasing the
Yes.
decimal,
Then that
decreasing the decimal.
it's okay,
Yes,
huh?
all this. Yeah. And for auto sum, do you use auto sum?
No, I don't do auto sum. What I do, like for the sheet that I have like presented a couple of minutes back, what I do is I put in a formula of sum, or I see it from the fetch results that are being shown at the bottom of the page.
Mm-hmm. Now say you have a table like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's make this.
Mm-hmm.
I want a total of these.
Mm-hmm.
And using I want the subtotals to be populated here. Let's say I want the total for north here, total for south here, total for east.
So
what
I do here is I put an equal to sign, open the parenthesis, drag the entire range, and then once the result is shown in this particular column, which is Z7, I drag it to the right.
Okay.
That is
That
what
is
I
one
do.
way. That is one way. Another way, quicker way to do this would be you highlight here, click on this auto sum.
Okay.
It does exactly what you do.
Okay.
Enter.
Okay.
Okay, there are variations of this. I can highlight all of this at once and do auto sum. I don't even have to drag it.
Okay. Okay.
Not only that, I have two sets of table, one for 2020, one for 2021. I highlight this. I say auto sum.
Okay.
It will get me this.
Okay.
So
but there has to be a gap between the two tables, right?
See,
with
where
the
do you
change
put a
in the
subtotal?
headers.
Where do you put a subtotal then? In case you want a subtotal, in case you don't want subtotal, you can remove the gap. It still applies.
Okay. So what if I were to, like my question here is, say for example, this, see, one of my team leaders has exactly 4 people in his team.
Okay.
Okay. and there are say around 32 team leaders that I handle right now. How would I get the data, get the subtotal for each and every set of data, like every team?
If I take a look at your data, I might be able to tell you in a better way. Okay. So then,
Okay.
we'll take a look at it.
We will do this in
yeah,
the.
we'll do this. Yes.
I get this.
So here, see, if you look at this, what I did while we were talking, I highlighted this along with the
Yes.
empty row and the column.
Okay.
And then I
Okay.
clicked on auto sum. So it gave me a sum on the row and on the column. With one
and
click.
if I were not, if I did not, if I had not selected the column on the right, which is AD, but I had selected the column which happens to be the seventh, the row which happens to be the seventh row.
Yeah, like this.
Would it? Yes. Yes.
It still applies.
All right. Okay.
This one is if I do AD, then I get Ajay's total. I get Bijoy's total. I get Kunjal's
I got
total.
it. Yeah.
Depends on what I need, basically.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Now,
Cool.
Before we end, I'll just talk about some basic stuff, which I'm sure you know. Let's say I have this 100, I have 200, I have had, 200, I have if I want to do a total of this, how much will I get?
Okay.
Suppose I want to do a total of all these values, including hash and this dollar and ampersand and star. What will I get?
I think I have not done this. I think this would eventually give us a response which would be erroneous.
Error.
For
right?
us.
Right? We expect an error.
Yes.
With time, Excel has also become smarter. When you do auto sum, it will ignore the non-numeric ones. Earlier versions used to give an error.
Okay.
Now it can differentiate between what is not a number and which is not, or which is a number. So it will
this
give you a
applies
total.
to alphabets also.
Yeah, you put.
Okay.
Like I said, with times, Excel has become smarter.
Yes. Got it.
Okay. Now I have this total, let's say 230, 120, 120. And like you do, I do this auto sum here and I get a total, right?
Okay.
Now I have a number here. If I drag this 950, this formula that I have, and I drop it over here, what will be the total?
600.
If I drag it and put it over here, what will be the total?
0.
Let's try this. And you're right. Okay. Now, what I do, I come here. Have you ever used this?
You freeze it.
Yes. Now,
yes,
if I drag
do it when I do. Yes.
What's going to happen? If I drag it to this one.
So, if you may please click on the first reference bar. Dollar age, dollar. It would give me the result 950 only, like if I'm not wrong.
What about if I drag it and drop it on 0?
Still 950.
Bang on. So
Yes,
what we are
because you
doing,
froze the.
yes,
Yes.
correct. Why? This is called as referencing. One is dynamic referencing, one is static referencing,
Mhm.
or relative referencing also, or absolute referencing as we call it. Okay. So when
Okay.
we are using a dollar, whether it is on the column
Mhm.
or on the row, we are freezing the
Okay.
reference.
Okay.
So that can be reused. For example, suppose you have,
Mhm.
I'll show you one sheet. I'll send this to you. So there are some nice
Mhm.
examples which you can try out. It will just clear
Okay.
out some of your, concepts and stuff like that. So, like you have this GST here, 18.36%.
Mhm.
I have
Okay.
the numbers here. Okay, unit
Okay.
cost and the total number. Based on this, I get a
Okay.
total, and
Okay.
I want to know the tax.
Okay.
So what would I do if I want to do the calculate the tax on GST on 4.76? I will say equal to. I click on
Mhm.
this.
1.1836
Correct.
divided by 1.1836.
Or multiply it by 1.1836 depending on how I look at it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Just the tax
Yes.
portion, if I want, I can just click on this and get the tax portion.
Mhm. Okay.
Now I want the tax to be calculated for the remaining cells. What will I do?
Okay. So before we drag it down, we'll probably apply the dollar symbol or an F4 before we calculate this.
Where will I apply that dollar?
Before, just a second, 1.176
I can make this
on the
bigger.
formula itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So maybe I can make it bigger. 1.19 is too small. So if I click on this, where will I apply the dollar?
On B13. No. Sorry.
No, you're right. Because
এখানে একটা
GST,
ক্যালকুলেশন একটা গন্ডগোল করে ফেলো হ্যাঁ
no,
জিএসটি
you're right.
18.36 হ্যাঁ
You're right. Because this
হ্যাঁ
GST is the rate what I am putting there. So if I do the dollar sign and then I
yes
drag it down, right?
right
This will work out
হ্যাঁ
fine. Absolutely fine. So this freezing,
yes
this is very important here. Otherwise,
hmm.
we get a problem. Similarly, here
yes
also, like you have amount
otherwise
of
probably it will take the series wala concept.
exactly. If we don't do it, problem happens is first, second cell, maybe it will do something okay, but thereafter,
Hmm.
it will start
Hmm.
giving me the wrong numbers. Normally people, when they see a number, they think, okay, it's fine, man. But when you really do that tuning, you will realize it's not right.
Hmm. Correct.
So, okay. So that was one. And, oh, sorry. So this is one. This is another place where we are referring to this, like someone discount, 2% discount or
Hmm.
3% discount. So again, on the total, if you are getting 2%
Mhm.
discount, you would have to freeze
Mhm.
this one. Okay.
Yes.
And here, there's a slight trick here. When I do this, I'm going to freeze
Mhm.
this, right?
You're right.
And if I drag down, I'll need to freeze this one, G2,
Right.
right? Now, if I
Okay.
drag it to the right, what will I do?
Mhm.
What do I have to do? Suppose I want to drag this to the right hand side. Now, this one is fine.
Mhm.
Like you said, I will go to G2 and I will freeze it. So I'll make this F4 and then I'm going to drag it 2%. So
Mhm.
174
Mhm.
2% is 3.48. So this is
Mhm.
quite right. So
Mhm.
I'm just dragging it.
Mhm.
So this one 3.36, again, this is working out. I just do a
Mhm.
quick sanity check and it's looks like it's okay. Now, if I want to
Okay.
do this on the 3%, what do I
So
have
if
to
you
do?
want, you want to change the condition of the 2% of discount that is being applied
Mhm.
on the product, you want instead of
3%.
2%, 3% should be
Mm.
applied, right?
Correct.
So I think in that case, Janina, I'm not too sure.
Okay. Now, first of all, if I drag this one here, what's going to happen?
Mhm.
It will come up with a weird number. Why? One, it has
Yes.
moved one cell to the right. So it total
Okay.
it now used 3.48, but
Okay.
it is still referring to G2. See the
Okay.
formula, because we have frozen the dollar by giving dollar,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, to do
Yes.
this, what we need to do, one, instead of G, it should move to H, but it should refer
H.
to 2.
Correct.
So I can remove
Yes.
this dollar sign from here.
I see.
Then, but I still wanted to refer to F3.
That needs to be freezed
Yes.
or frozen. Okay.
Now, if I drag this, approximately see 3% of
Yes.
174, 5.22 approximately.
I get it now.
If I drag this here,
The same applies.
but if I drag it down now, I could get
Mhm.
something wrong. Let's see,
Okay.
will it work? 5.04, 3%, 48, 3 8 are 24, 2, 48.
This worked, I guess.
Yes. Why? Because I am referring to dollar $F. So this column is now
Okay.
frozen. I didn't refer to
Okay.
dollar $F $3. I didn't make it dollar $F $3. Do you see
Okay.
this? When I did this first time,
Yes.
because I'm going to drag it down also. So that's why I didn't freeze
Right.
the column 3, cell 3. I didn't freeze the cell
Okay.
3.
I get it now.
Did it make sense?
Yes, it made sense, but then I sincerely believe, sir,
You
this
have to
will
do it.
need like, yes, my intervention when I am handling data
Absolutely.
to clear
If
all
you
the
try
doubts.
this with your, you just use
I
this,
do this
try
because
this
I
out.
saw this in a video.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
When I do VLOOKUP for the data sets that
Right.
I handle,
Yeah.
I do this for the VLOOKUP, but then the clarity around this, the reason why we do it was not clear.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what I'll do is I'll keep using it
Yes.
until the next class, and all the
Yes.
doubts that I have, I'll definitely
See,
be sharing with you.
this particular sheet has a lot of sample references. Okay. I'll be sending you
Okay.
this. So you can try these out.
Okay.
Okay, like this one,
Okay.
income percent. Okay, now you
Okay.
can try this. If somebody's income is 3,000 out of 20,000, what does it income mean? Basically, again, when you drag it, you have to freeze this cell.
Mhm. Okay.
Make cell
I get it
references
now.
is this. Then there is an auto sum. So this one is that region wise, quarter wise, I want a total.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so if I want this, or depending on what I want to do, okay, or the whole purpose is to highlight this, you know, how
Right.
you can use this trick in different ways. Now, an easier way might be that you do this first,
Mhm.
do this second,
Mhm.
this one I had chosen an extra column, so just ignore this. Easier.
Absolutely.
So auto sum can be useful if you are working with multiple tables also, like this. You could have like year wise or region wise, and you can just do a total and it will show you the grand total also. And see, you can tally this 536 plus 453 is 989.
Right.
You don't have to do it manually.
Correct.
Then there is one for you do know how to look at all the sheet names, right?
I did not get you, if you may.
See, there are so many sheets over here, right?
Okay.
How do I look at all the sheet names?
Okay. So I click on the three dots and probably I'll yes.
No. Here, this right arrow that you see, click on that and right click on it.
Okay.
So you can see all the sheet names, and whichever one you want to go to, like this is conditional formatting. You can try this out on your
Okay.
own also.
Acha.
Okay, these are some
Got it.
practices that are there, just to help you. So highlight
Okay.
sales if it is less than 18,000, red color. Highlight country name India.
Okay.
Highlight production if it is equal to
Great.
target. Highlight actual if it is greater than its
Okay.
budget. So it will look at the relevant ones.
Okay.
Okay, corresponding values.
Okay.
Highlight cell if it is greater
Okay.
than 18,000 but green color. Highlight line of
Okay.
business with finance word. Highlight production if it
Hmm.
is less than target. So there is a target that we are putting, and we are going to highlight only if it is less than the target.
Okay.
So these are like conditional formattings that you can use.
Okay.
I'll have this sent to you. Okay. And may I have your
Please, sir.
email ID?
Yes, it is reach REACH Anton ANTON at yahoo.com. This is the personal email ID that I use.
Okay, fine. I'll have this sent.
All right.
Okay. Anything else that you want to highlight? Otherwise, we'll
No,
stop here for the day.
these